It feels good to be back. I was got concerned there for a second. Anyways, we're back. I finally actually somehow managed to find the time in order to... Oh. That's not what I want, thank you. Accidentally pressed the Netflix button on my remote. Gonna have to wait 1,000 years for it to load up only for me to... You know what, I'm just gonna switch it off. I'm just gonna switch it off. In the meantime, hopefully your weekend's been going well. I did take the time... Oh. Yep, Elgato. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I did take the time out to go back and fight all of the trainers which I missed out the first time around, and here's how we stand at the moment. This is the team we're working with. Weekend has been busy. Yeah, I had the I got the impression, given what happened with what you mentioned Friday. Anyways, yes. No real changes too far-fetched. I think the main ones here are getting Screech on Lickitung, which is more sort of a placeholder, because I didn't realize just how bad Screech was. It's like, yes, it has sharply reduces foe's defense by 2 stages, but 85 accuracy? I have something else planned to replace that in due time. No change to Electrode, obviously. The main one who actually got some stuff. Fake Tears on Jinx. You know, it's just like the special version of Screech, except it has 100% accuracy. There is no power creep in Pokemon. Nidoking finally got Mega Horn. And I'll just put that up there, so... Maybe has something good against Sabrina, assuming we use him against Sabrina at all. And of course, Mr. Mime gets, got Psychic. You know what, just for the sake of it, I'm gonna put Nidoking up the front. For that, though, there's a canonical... Never used Jinx in these games before. Yeah, neither have I. This is like my first time using Jinx, and, it's definitely been putting in a lot of work. Arguably, it's the one thing which has made this team actually work. With just how powerful just, Stab, Psychic, and Ice Punch are. That's and, Sleep if I feel like it. Anyways, let me come over here. It likes to mimic people. It's rather vexing. Remember, here's on the nickname Copycat around here. Oh, wow, Pokédoll for me? Thank you. You know, I can teach you... Yeah, I got myself a Pokédoll for this. No thank you. Don't you like Mimic? Let's see what happens when I give, one of these Pokemon the Pokédoll. Let's get the Pokédoll out of my, inventory. Let's get rid of his hot price salami. Love the ability of Oblivious, just very funny on Jinx fall Pokemon. Oh yeah, just, have a look at Oblivious. Prevents attraction. Yeah, that is pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Still though, it really feels as though I've been, banking on some of the abilities of my teammates a whole lot. Mostly just, soundproof and own tempo. You know, let's try talking to her now. Oh, just... Right. One thing that I, do kind of miss with regards to, Copycat here in the, Vibrant Leaf Green is that she actually takes on... She basically changes herself into a sprite to mirror your player model, which I thought was kind of a neat touch. It's a rare Pokemon, huh? It's only a doll. Oh, it's only a doll. That Pikachu over there, look at him. Don't worry, it's just a bootleg doll. And of course, the only real Pokemon here, Doduo. Pretty mirror, look at me, see how pretty I can be. Interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure in Red and Blue this was Mirror Mirror on the Wall. It's V Pikachu plush. Yes, it's V Pikachu plush from the 90s, along with a SNES. A game with Mario wearing a bucket on his head. Titinia! I'll spare you the voice for now. Yeah, I never had an idea as to the fact this was an actual real game. Mario and Wario. I don't think anybody has actually played Mario and Wario on the, on this side of the hemisphere without the use of emulation. My secrets, skill mimicry, hobby collecting dolls. Favorite Pokemon? Clefairy. I should probably leave before I absorb her entire personality. I feel it's happening already. Anyways, I figure since we're here, may as well knock out the Saffron Gym next. The Master of Psychic Pokemon! Let's have a look. Thought it was JP only. Yeah, it is. Mario and Wario was JP only. If you want, you can also buy the huge chili. You just had to remind me, didn't you? Don't tempt me. Super Nintendo and Mario was... Yeah, we got iconic stuff like Mario Paint. Uses psychic power instead of force. I mean, I don't know. Psychic power is often mistaken with the force. Pokemon are especially weak. They'll get destroyed before they can even aim a punch. Well, lucky for me, I'm using a poison type. I don't have a single psychic type in my team, so we're gonna do great. He's also a highly skilled leader. He won't reach her easily. Just pulls out a... Like, hey, you actually kind of get me with that. You actually kind of got me. I suppose, speaking of Chillet, I've been playing a fair bit more Power World over the weekend. Survival / journal updates. I've managed to catch all the legendaries and have finally made it to the world tree. It's like, it's taken me ages, and for the meantime, I've mostly just been spending my time hunting Mimogs in order to get some dog coins in order to raise up the IVs of my, well, most specifically one pal. It's Bellanoir Libero. I actually got one of them. Of course, I went with Bellanoir. I'm sure you can Google Bellanoir and get a general idea as to why I decided to go with that one. I mean, aside from the fact that she has the highest attack stat in the game, seems cool having the opportunity to get it. Give me a sec. Just need to check something. Just need to check something. Just talk amongst yourselves. As I wait for something to load in the background for no particular reason. There's an unseen power scare. A third of my team is psychic types, my man. Okay, that should be good. Oh boy, now comes the moment of truth. Can Mr. Nito deal with a Kadabra? I mean, I know we're like 15 levels higher, but when it comes to Kadabra, you can never be too careful. It is like the best Pokemon in Gold and Silver. Also, very much looking forward to seeing how the dating sim comes along. In all honesty, let's have a look-see. I would say Nidoking is dealing, holding his own quite well in this whole gym, but then again, 15 levels higher doesn't... It's one of those things where it's like, wow, Nidoking's actually doing pretty well, except not really, because... reasons. It blows up pancakes with my mind. The gym is full of martial arts to be... Steven Seagal will be right at... I'm fairly certain I already made that joke, or something along the lines of it. This very much seems like the Steven Seagal gym. It's like, look at me, I could just switch you into a knot using nothing but my mind. No worries, Bexy. Hope you find the time to enjoy it. It is a bit of a time sink. From my experience. Anyways, let's see what Mr. Mime can do when it only has one attack. I have a plan. I have a goddamn plan, Arthur. Byron Stream, how generous it is. Well, it's like she just said, so... Unfortunately, I had to go into a little bit of an awkward silence there, so... Hope you don't mind. Hope you don't mind. I can't believe we're going for the mirror match. Come on, Mr. Mime, I'm sure you got this. Encore, that doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. I was using this to end you anyways. Anyways, yeah, I have a plan with Mr. Mime. Unfortunately, I need to get to a certain level in order for the plan to come to fruition. I should probably check actually what level it gets its moves at. It's been a little bit since I checked. I am not, and of course it has recover. Unfortunately, I am not a living Pokédex, so I too need to get reminded of move sets from time to time. Let's have a look, see. Level 49. Yeah, that checks out. Got it as a corrective if it starts a lot. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun. Oh. I guess I was looking at the wrong learn set. There we go, we got the baton pass. Mr. Mime is almost online. I think you can guess what its fourth move is going to be replaced by. Yeah, Magical Leaf is temporary. I think I've already beaten you. I will admit I still don't remember the layout to this place. This is one of those things where I just keep stepping on teleport pads. The mimes are killing each other, not exactly in the pantomime. I mean, I don't know. I imagine that if Detective Pikachu is anything to go by, mime battles can be incredibly fluffing brutal. This is like pouring gasoline on each other and setting each other on fire. Oh, heck. You just had to do it, didn't you? This isn't even a ghost type gym. What are you doing here? One of the best parts of that... Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Again, I do kind of wish that we got another movie in that setting. One which was of actual, like, Pokemon training as opposed to just being a Detective Pikachu. It's so weird that of all the Pokemon spin-offs, Detective Pikachu is the one that warranted a movie. Just like, why that one? You know, I'm sure... At that rate, why not have a entire movie based around Pokemon Conquest? What we do with the visuals are amazing. Yeah. I mean... I'd say it was more of a mixed bag. Some Pokemon definitely look better than others. Just find it... Just the funniest thing about that movie... It's like, you know, in movies, they have, like, a, signature card that the heroes or psychics use, which gets associated with that movie, you know, like, the Chevrolet Camaro, the new Chevrolet Camaro in Transformers 2007, or, the Aston Martin DB5 in Goldfinger. For Detective Pikachu, they used the G-Wiz. I mean, I know it's fitting, given it was shot in London, but... The G-Wiz. I mean, I don't understand if there was a scene where Pikachu was able to supercharge it with his electricity in order to make it go super fast. It doesn't even do that. They just potter around in like the Peak District for a little bit. And even then, that feels wildly inaccurate because the G-Wiz would probably have run out of juice along just going along the road. Because everything you do in the G-Wiz just wears the battery down. It's just an exercise in abject misery. Like, you know it's bad when... Performance-wise, your car is getting beaten in a drag race by 4 men carrying a table. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show that on stream. I'll probably show it in the server later. You know, details of mobile phones make my little chunky. They probably wouldn't poke... I mean, you say that, and I'm just reminded of Advent Children with Final Fantasy VII, where they just all have flip phones. That just reminds me of that a little bit. Anyways, I think I'll just see if I can find the clip to put it in the server. Just give me a sec. Okay, I think I found it. It even looks just... like the saddest thing about you just look at a G-Wiz. And it just drains all the life and soul out of your body. You're just like, oh. You're just so sad afterwards. I'm just gonna post this in the media discussions. Talk amongst yourselves. As I just sigh through more and more of these. I will say at the very least, I am at the very least glad that I was able to level everyone without going over my level cap. Can't talk in the car, I might have the personal car as a Citroen C1 I'm mostly the C1 I'm mostly familiar with, I think, is like the 2005 one, which, from what I understand, it's a fairly sort of cute little basic fundamentals car. The accurate Motorola flip phones. Oh, you have to make that distinction, obviously. It has to be Motorola's. It's so weird that this Psychic-type gym is full of Ghost types, and the Poison-type gym is filled with Psychic types. I mean, you'd think that the Ghosts would make much more sense to be in Koga's gym, given that all the Ghost types in this game are Poison types. What's most shocking is the fact that it has 4 doors. Yeah, I imagine that there's basically 0 legroom in the back, and so in order to get people in the back, they basically have to saw their legs off. Or they just adopt the fetal position. Oh yeah, so I guess in that respect it only has 3 seats. Because you probably have to have that thing all the way back. I'm not sure how much I want to go into this, but there again, saying it again, just this talk is just reminding me of my big sister and how for the longest time she had a late 2000s orange Fiat Panda. Man, any crazy to think the last Pokemon Vanguard was like, oh, Vanguard was 5 years. Yep, and I'm all the more happy for it. I completely forgot that Vanguard was a thing. Hit enter to fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I feel that I've definitely been in a bit of a more positive move, especially after just doing away with these games I haven't been enjoying, which I imagine that's going to crop up again at some point, because I'm going to feel obligated at some point to try something like FF9 or FF12 or FF13. I'm also saying this around 13. Thinking like the demolishment of Final Fantasy. Yeah, it is really sad to... It's like I was really excited to really delve more into the world of Final Fantasy. After I had such a good time with most of FF14 and FF7 especially. Only to find that I haven't really been enjoying most of the other games. It's sad, really. I mean, I did enjoy 6 for what it was worth, just... Again, I feel as though that's not necessarily a game that, the way I was playing was necessarily conducive to how it should be played. Enjoy the other series is very... Yeah, so I've heard. So I've heard. Just that sense that there might be something out there for me. I mean, you'll enjoy 9 a good bit and some remakes saw in your stream. I mean, yeah, but I haven't really played them yet. I want to suggest that... Yeah, I think you already recommended to me 16. If you got a switch... if it got a Switch port. Would you imagine? I imagine you just plug that in and then the Switch immediately just explodes. You know, considering it couldn't even run Kingdom Hearts 3 without, like, without cloud saving. You had to run this... I'm guessing you had to, like, tune every single setting in that all the way down. A very unoptimized VCF things tonight. I have roughly the same. Yeah, it's crazy to think, really. Especially... Oh, finally. After wandering around in the wilderness for like millennia, we finally made it. I'm going to league with Nidoking. You know, throw her off, give her a full sense of security. It's like, what a fool bringing a poison type into this psychic type gym.
I had a vision of your arrival. I've had psychic power since I was just a child. It started when a spoon I carelessly tossed bent. I dislike battling, but if you wish, I will show you my powers. You've been playing Super Mario Sunshine, haven't you?
Put your controller on the floor. Do it now.
Zolman, I had to change the lunch law 50 times and I'll complain. Was it worth it though? Was it worth it though to set it all at such a bare minimum? I have to wonder. It's like, imagine if Ash had this sort of Nidoking during his fight with Sabrina. It's like, oh, what's that? What's that? Your Kadabra can just warp Pikachu's Thunderbolt into like a Thunder Dragon. I'm just gonna headbutt ya. I'm a headbutt ya. Dexterine is small enough where it's not Sabrina Mantis. I'm glad you, once again, I'm glad that you got the joke.
You've been playing Super Mario Sunshine, haven't you? Oh, yeah, I'll do it again. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
I feel as though I have a little bit too much fun with that snake voice.
Colonel. This guy's like trying to kill me with 2 spoons, Colonel. I'm scared. The last guy only had 1 spoon, Colonel.
How do we feel about Snake hitting Sonic? I've definitely felt it's a very cute reference, especially given the context, because I know that that mostly stems from the fact that Snake's voice actor in Japanese is the son of I forget the name. It was for the longest time Robotnik's voice actor in Japanese, up from like Adventure up until Rise of Lyric. Again, I just obviously the context is kind of lost in translation, but it is a very cute reference. It is a very cute little Easter egg.
Colonel. I don't know why, but I hate that hedgehog. I hate that hedgehog, Colonel.
Snake, calm down. You're going into a panic attack.
Hate.
I like his Sam looks like he just got out of bed. Yeah, to think how he looked so threatening as well back in like red and blue and yellow. It's funny the Sonic series would go on to give a Slinger the all. Yeah, they're basically just the entirety of the original Diamond Cutters, basically just being one big MGS1 reference. I thought it was pretty neat. Anyways, I think it's time. Excuse me. I think it's time we just bring in Farfetch'd. Behold, behold my tech. I was hoping that that would tank one more hit. Whatever. Have a slash. Yeah, it's like even 5 levels lower, Alakazam can still put up a fight. Which we already do given someone another exciting York already. Let's assume it's been like quite slow recently. Last one was Rydell's one. Yeah, Rydell's was like a year ago at this point, wasn't it? It feels. Sabrina, why do you have a Venomoth? Like, I can understand Kogi having one of these, but Hypno, nothing. Again, the team composition in these games is very interesting. There we go, Sabrina's done for. This loss shocks me, but a loss is a loss. I admit it, I didn't work hard enough to win. Your victory has earned you the gold badge. Lance the Dragon Master, who is in fact a bird keeper. The gold badge makes Pokemon up to level 70 obey you. Stronger Pokemon will become wild, ignoring your orders in battle. Just don't raise your Pokemon too much to avoid that problem. Oh wait, please take this TM with you. And there we go. There we go, we get Calm Mind. Psychic power isn't something that only a few people have. Everyone has psychic power, some people just don't realize it. Yes, for some reason I have the power of precognition. It just gets mistaken for deja vu. You ever get that feeling of deja vu? Anyways, there we go. Finally get Calm Mind. That is going right on Mr. Mime. And finally finally the move set for Mr. Mime is complete. He is the baton passer. The baton passing man. He is going to enable some horrible things for Nidoking and Jinx. Just want Megani to appear in the main comic. She seems like I don't think I've seen much of Megani. Then again, I haven't really been paying that much attention to IDW. Slap CT on head. I think that's mostly the case with every single item in this game. You just slap the item on the head and they're just instantly better. Let's try it with a potion, actually. I think I have a potion spare. Oh wait, lemonade, even better. She's from the chaotic cycle. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense with Lickitung. Just places whole entire can of lemonade on Lickitung's tongue. Now we have to find a way out of this place, so this is the last thing we ever do. Feels like I keep referencing that one song, even though I've basically hardly heard any of it. You can probably tell I don't tend to come back here too often. Let me out. Count's tongue to say loosen up their rules, because what do you mean the anniversary you place the limit on Lickitung, his entire body just crumples up. Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, it is kind of weird that a chaotic comic doesn't involve Mighty. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it doesn't feature Heavy and Bomb either. I guess for some reason they just really don't want Mighty and Ray in the modern timeline, even though I don't think many people necessarily care about that sort of quote-unquote continuity. I wouldn't even say it's continuity, it's just for some reason Mighty, Ray, and Trip are just banished to the classic zone. Which the Chaotix are never allowed to enter. Gone, but probably forgotten too. I mean, I remember Heavy and Bomb. I mean, not by choice, but I remember them. I will admit, though, I haven't necessarily been paying that much attention to the IDW route. I'm glad people are enjoying it at the very least, but me personally, I am very much more so a Japanese Sonic enjoyer, so I feel as though I am more inclined to just, at this point, especially given some recent thoughts with regards to Sega of America, from some various revelations which I'm not sure I want to divulge at this point in time. I don't really feel comfortable just outdoors locked. I don't necessarily feel comfortable really going back to a lot of the post-Black Knight stuff, just colors onwards. Mentioned my Rain Tales too, they supposedly offer Adventuring character exclusive. Adventuring where, though? Stop reading the comments to see snippets of it in multimedia, like the random of course, they had to put Jackson as an Easter egg. Did that one have a bow on it at the very least? Anyways, here we are, Pokemon Mansion. I do recall there was like a, okay. I do recall there was a point in time where I considered this place even scarier, quote-unquote, than Pokemon Tower. Because, like, this music is definitely more on the menacing side, and you got the statues here with eyes that glow red. And you got Dittos here, just sort of adding to the theory that Ditto is just a failed clone experiment of trying to clone Mew. It's like they tried to reconstitute Mew, but its structure just sort of deteriorated into a pink blob after a while. I mean, considering that they have the same normal and shiny colors as well, it definitely doesn't seem like an accident. I am going with the idea that Ditto is a failed Mew clone at the very least. I just find that sort of stuff kind of cool, and it really sort of adds to the Mythos of Mewtwo. Like, it's the... Like, Mewtwo is the closest they got. Alright. I'm surprised I haven't actually caught an Eradicate yet. Let's see if you survive this one. And of course I crit. The one time I was hoping to catch a thing and crit. Lucky me. When my cute cat alien thing becomes a freezer. Yeah, that sort of reminds me. I have, admittedly, had as a possibility. I do have Dragon Ball Kakarot. I was wondering about the prospect. Oh. What is this? What is this? Oh, it's a citrus berry. Like, I know that Namkai Bando isn't exactly a fan of people streaming their games, but I do have Dragon Ball Kakarot at the very least, so I figured that might be an interesting one. You know, it's mostly just gonna be me reciting jokes from various Dragon Ball media. You know, there's just gonna be a lot of jokes about the invincibility of Goku Mid and lots of I'm sure it's gonna be fun at the very least. Assuming we get there. But they kind of rushed the post-Z anime DLC so we could soak his actual Z stuff. Yeah, I think for the sake of it, I'm probably just gonna stick with the base game. The moment Trunks appears, I'm pulling out the drink memes. I'm just pulling out the silver memes. You know, Trunks officially has become silver by proxy.
Oh, you startled me. I thought you were a ghost.
Maybe I am a ghost. Youngster Johnson. Johnson, what are you doing out here? Ain't you supposed to be, Escape Penelo? When I was a kid, they called me the juice box, and now I'm the drink. You're really gonna stand up to me and lecture me with that $30 hair? Yeah, I wonder how many times I'm gonna pull out the $30 haircut line. It just feels, it's just so much like Dragon Ball meme stuff. It's just ingrained in the insides of my skull. Because I know a lot of people aren't exactly fans of the Funimation dubs of Dragon Ball Z now, and definitely understandable. With the old 90s one at the very least, I do have a soft spot for them. Going ahead now, get closing. Alright, take care, Bexy. I feel you get more fun playing through Tenkaichi story mode for more than... Yo, funny you mention that. My first actual interaction properly getting into Dragon Ball Z, which wasn't just catching snippets of episodes of the Ocean dub on Toonami, was Tenkaichi 2. I borrowed Tenkaichi 2 for the PS2 from someone at boarding school, and that's how I mostly got into Dragon Ball Z. You know, they basically just kept making references to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Because of course they did. It is so funny, especially given how similar Tenkaichi 3 is to Tenkaichi 2. I mean, I do also have Tenkaichi 3 for the Wii, but that would involve me cranking out the motion controls again, and I'm not sure we want another repeat of that. Well, I say Wii, this one is more so the Wii U. Pretty sure you can play it with a GameCube controller? I mean, you could on the Wii. It's just a matter of, I do have an adapter, in quotations, for a GameCube controller, which I have plugged into my Wii U. The unfortunate thing is it doesn't seem to work. Like, I tried getting it to work and it just refuses to, which is a shame because that would definitely be my go-to way to go and play old Wii games again. Hell, imagine if you could still play GameCube games on the Wii U. That would be just, That would make it like my perfect console, basically. I mean, except for the fact that Sonic Lost World is on it. Look at that beard. Hey, we actually have someone with a Charmander. Who would have thunk it? Yeah, I am definitely... Oh, getting Swift. We don't want Swift. We're not interested in Swift here. Electrode's already fast enough. I will definitely admit, though, it is definitely nice to see normal trainers actually using starter Pokemon forms. It feels as though from Gen 2 onward, you basically never see this. Just sort of adds this whole thing of you being an actual trainer as opposed to being like this super special snowflake because you got the special Pokemon. Here it's like you're more like a proper trainer out in the world trying to do your own thing. Probably should have taunted this thing before switching into... And not that I need it, because apparently Lickitung just doesn't care. I mean, look at that face. It is incapable of caring. Yeah, let's just put him up front. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I think we're starting to get up to actually putting a proper moveset on Lickitung at this point, because there's still a couple of TMs that I need to get. I think you have an idea. I think you already have an idea as to what they're going to be. I said it was going to be quite cursed. Yeah, I don't have very good things to say about Kakarot. I think the same Saga part of it is probably the best it gets, but they skipped shorthand and a lot of material. Sorry for Freeza, but not to mention the open world is only Right, I see. That is a bit of a damn shame, honestly. I was kind of looking forward to trying it out, especially after seeing various other streams of people who haven't played Dragon Ball, who haven't actually watched Dragon Ball, going through Kakarot for the first time and getting engrossed in the story. It was just so nice to see. Oh, of course you're gonna disable me. Oh, I can probably just knock you off and knock off, can't I? There we go. I think I'll just put on a, I'll still have a couple repels at the very least. I'll just put one of those on for the time being. July 10th, we christened the newly discovered Pokemon Mew. Alright, I've been reading these out of order, haven't I? We gotta go find the rest of them, come on. July 5th. Guana, South America. A new Pokemon was discovered deep in the jungle. We christened it Mew. There we go. Calcium! Get over here, you must consume calcium. It makes your skeleton strong and healthy. Calc. Everybody loves a good bit of calc, don't they? It makes your skeleton strong and healthy. Oh no, the skeleton's coming out. That's just another thing that's just been engraved in my head at this point. Yeah, we definitely do get a lot of vitamins in here. Vitamins. Alright, that's the way we're supposed to go. Calc. Let's just deal with this guy first. My mentor once lived here. I wonder who the mentor could have possibly been. It's a complete mystery to me, Mr. Braden. Would you care to be a little bit less vague? I mean, obviously I'm one to talk about being vague. Whatever, just take this. That's half... Oh, of course it has Thunder Wave, why wouldn't it? I feel as though this is just most of my experience with these earlier Pokemon games. Just every which way, they just want to inflict paralysis on me. Also, I can't help but wonder with regards to Dragon Ball Kakarot. Is Monster Carrot in at any point? Because I know he was also in one of the, I think it was Supersonic Warriors for the Game Boy Advance. He has a little cameo there, stating how he somehow got back from the moon before Piccolo blew it up. Oh, it's yeah, crazy they just blew up the moon at the very start of the start of Dragon Ball Z. Want to say Monster? Oh, he's only mentioned. That's kind of disappointing. It's like I want. May just be me. I really would have wanted to see how Monster Carrot would have fared in the Tournament of Power. So it's like, oh, what's that? Jiren's like the strongest thing in the universe. Now he's a carrot. Oh, what's that? We got Ultra Instinct Goku? I mean, to be fair, I suppose Ultra Instinct would be a bit of an issue for Monster Carrot. Because, obviously, he works on touch. I don't think his carrot touch works on the Untouchables. I mean, you never know. He could find a way. It would be pretty funny, though. Just the power of Ultra Instinct undone by carrot magic. Oh yeah, there was some stairs over here. They weren't there. What's over here? We get HP up. I'm gonna get that to Licky Tongue. He seems like a bit of a bulky bashy boy. Miss Sorrel? Again, I will admit I'm not exactly most familiar with a lot of the super stuff outside of the very basics, like, you know, Jiren, Goku Black, Jocko, I think. Oh, I see. I do find it while that, I think one of the, like, the main magical girl character in the Tournament of Power was voiced by Veronica Taylor. It's like, her voice is so distinct, it's just, like, wild to see her here. Or there, rather. Just, it's nice that at least she's still getting work. Could have sworn there was some more stuff in here with regards to Mewtwo lore. Maybe we'll try over here. Oh, here we go. Mew gave birth. We named the newborn Mewtwo. Yeah, I struggle to imagine how Mew would be able to push that out. I mean, given the size difference, this place is like huge. Yeah. I also realized I haven't come across a Magmar yet. I mean, obviously, I've been using repels, but, kind of crazy that there just hasn't been a single Magmar yet. It's just mostly been Raticates and Coughings. And, of course, Confuse Ray, because... why am I not surprised? Come on, Zing, you can fight through it! Okay, you can't. But this never works. It's like, I keep wanting to do so anyway, just... Isn't it on a specific floor? Probably not. Probably. I'll finally actually land a hit. Like, all my life has just been me punching RNG in the face to, like, stop bullying me. Why is everybody so mean to me? Okay, I think we'll just head downstairs now. I believe it's this way. It wasn't this way. Now I'm gonna have to go and flip all the switches again. Fantabby dozy. Gotta love it. You know, I'll just leave the repels off for the time being. Let's see if we can actually find a Magmar. That's not a Magmar. I think this may be the point where we have to start actually running from encounters just to speed things along a little bit. Which is... Oh, I actually find Vulpix in here, even though I already have a Vulpix. You get to live. Got any cheese? I must do with how many of these things I've been encountering so far. Oh, there. Oh, hello. Who are you? There shouldn't be anybody here. Then why are you here? You're obviously anyone. So you shouldn't be here either. Here, let me kind you escortly out using my mind. Everything's just coming along nicely. I suppose this is sort of the downside of this. Is just early game, I feel, was a little bit more tense because obviously we didn't really have much in terms of options. At this point, we're just essentially cleaning house. I mean, it is mostly just Jinx doing the talking, but still. Okie doke. Ooh, what's that on the floor, I wonder? Assuming we can eventually get there. Oh, Carbos. Level 4 until Elite 4 tend to be... Yeah. It's like, it feels about this point you basically have all the stuff you need in order to really, Let's get that to Jinx. You basically mostly already optimized, so it's just a matter of getting the stats in order to overcome. Which, to be fair, when it comes to, Elite 4 in Gen 1 at the very least, stat experience goes a long way. Also, this looks a lot cleaner. Where am I now? You're in the basement. You should be upstairs with the rest of your looting buddies. I'm kind of surprised there's even much to loot here, given I don't think we necessarily get much of a time frame between this place burning up and Mewtwo being born and now. It's like we don't necessarily get a it's like it gives us dates, but it's only for the dates the events happen as opposed to dates of what's happening now. So it's like it could have been the equivalent of the 70s, the 60s, the 80s. It could have been like last year. Also, can you move? I want to look at the journal. I want to look at the funny audio logs of that one guy just dying horribly to Mewtwo's psychic powers, like an elfin lied. That's the weirdest thing. Is like I can't remember what it was, but I'm pretty certain it was just like this one YouTube poop of Pokemon the first movie, and it just interspliced clips from Elfin Light of just people getting in the laboratory getting sliced up, and it's just like, ooh. I mean, it's cool to see Mewtwo doing it, but oh. September 1st, Mewtwo is far too powerful. He has failed to curb its vicious tendencies. I mean, I'm guessing it didn't go full Elfin Light, given the basement seems to be quite clean. Assuming the basement was where Mewtwo was born at the very least. Who wouldn't? Yeah, these statues I always found unnerving with the glowing red eyes. It's like they somehow managed to find a way to make this place even more unsettling compared to, how it is in the original game. I knew there was something over here. Yeah, I'm just rolling to see if we can find a Magmar. Full restore? I'm sure I will use that immediately in the next battle. I could have sworn that Magmar had a higher encounter rate down here. Could be wrong. And I suppose it makes sense this place is so full of fluffing rats. Yeah, you overgrown croquettes. Ye gods! This place is ideal for a lab. Look at all this. It was a lab. Before it all got blued up and all the scientists died. I suppose this was going for more sort of a one-for-one honest remake of Gen 1 and 2, but I would have appreciated, you know, maybe at the bottom of that last audio, that last diary entry, we just see scribbled, "We dreamed of creating the world's strongest Pokemon, and we succeeded." Up until Calyrex Shadow. There is no such thing as power creep. That is the saddest thing, honestly. It's like Mewtwo back in my day, back in these games, was deemed as powerful as people let on. Although obviously, sort of paled in comparison to the likes of Latios, Latias, Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, etc. Sort of Mewtwo was the guy, but yeah, he was the guy back in the day for like 2.5 generations. And now, and then all of a sudden, in once again, Sword and Shield, we just get this one random horse with this weird thing mushroom thing on top of it, which is not only significantly more powerful than Mewtwo stat-wise, but also has a better ability in that it just gains extra special attack for each kill it gets. Really makes you think how they would have designed Mewtwo if it was introduced in the later gens. Yeah, we'll make it. You and your Mega Eternituses. You knew this was coming. Funnily enough, I did actually put a similar moveset on an Aggron at some point. Just giving it like Fire Blast, Thunder, Hyper Beam, and I think Surf? Again, it was like real young at the time, and I thought it was like, oh, this is a really good moveset, even though it really wasn't, because it was Aggron. I don't actually have a reason to be hopeful. I was gonna say I was hopeful that, they'd sort of take time to reassess and, address the power creep issues, but for some reason, I am led to believe that's not gonna be the case. There we go, got the secret key. No longer taking up, valuable inventory space, just part of my key items. Not a single Magmar. That is concerning. Whatever, though, I'm gonna get Solar Beam down here. I was gonna get this to Tangela, but, we don't have Tangela on the team. Imagine if they just had, like, super high level, encounters down here for, like a low encounter rate, like with the Dug Trios and Diglett Tunnel. Like, you just casually come across, like, a random level 40 enemy down here. It's like, oh, shoot. It's just something to keep you on your toes a little bit, because I don't know about you, I did quite like the prospect of you could bump into an incredibly powerful Dugtrio down here. This is something I miss about the new game. Oh. Things can never be simple around here, can they? Whatever. Whatever, we're nearly done. We're nearly out of here. We may be Magmarless, but we got what we came for. Yeah, that's the lab equipment, I'm sure, which was used to, make Mewtwo. I mean, I'd hate to imagine how, Mew must have looked trying, just gestating Mewtwo. May as well just come out and say, just... Again, it just must have been twice the size of its entire body. It probably wouldn't have been able to support its own life for, like, prolonged periods of time. Also surprised we haven't come across a single Ditto in here. Because I know Ditto is supposed to spawn in here. Yeah, let's finally get out of here. We're done here. Oh, we actually found a coughing. You know, that's something. We actually found a coughing. I've been meaning to catch one of these. Never mind. It's like I was gonna try and let you down. Is the implication more burped and more similar? I mean, obviously, it was more overt in the anime of that Mewtwo was just a straight up clone as opposed to in here. It's just it's very visceral imagery they seem to be going for here in the game. God, Mew-free. And the surprising Mewtwo designs are based off the Mew-free legend. I'm fairly certain those were the rumors back in the day when Mega Mewtwo Y was first being circulated. It's like, finally we have Mew-free! Even though it really wasn't. It's like, you too can get a Mew-free if you go to Seafoam Islands and find the legendary Mist Stone. Actually, I think that was the Black Charizard. That was the Mist Stone thing. Just I remember hearing something about a Mist Stone in Seafoam Islands. Just thinking all back to all these urban legends. Just name your favorite urban legend in the comments. I mean, obviously, we have Mew under the truck, which I feel is sort of the most infamous one. That's a, you know, fight the Elite Four 100 times, give Professor Oak a Pidgey, and you get Mew. That sort of thing. Anyways. Quite well-balanced team, all things considered. Doing well for ourselves. Anyways. Hothead Blaine is a Fire-type Pokemon Pro. Douse the Spirits of Water! Unfortunately, I don't have any Water types. But straight as a trainer. Yeah, I think we're just gonna battle everyone in here. I mean, saying that, I probably should have actually gone and done the quiz anyway, because that's like the whole point of this thing, is doing the quiz. Very interesting how this was handled in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, that it's just an actual quiz show in front of like a live studio audience. I don't know, just sort of really feels like a major departure from well, mostly just the Blaine fight in the anime, where you actually fight in a volcano. I miss that. I miss that. It's funny as well, because obviously Cinema gets blown up in a volcanic eruption, and yet there's no volcano in the, there's no volcano present in Red, Blue, Yellow, Fire, Red, Leaf, Green. Get toxic, idiot. You can see Taunt's actually putting in some decent mileage here. I'm definitely glad I kept it on Electrode. I keep forgetting that Taunt only lasts for like 2 turns. Whatever though. It doesn't matter that I'm confused, you're dead anyways. It's only a matter of time. What, seriously, you have Ember at this point in the game? Why? Not Fire Spin, not Flamin' Warfare, no nothing, just Ember? I mean, I know the movesets back in Gen 1 were terrible, but come on. Yeah, they just open up on their own. Get it right and roll this next screen. Get it wrong and face a trainer. If you want to conserve your Pokemon from the gym leader, then get it right. I mean, it doesn't matter because Pokemon Centers exist. Caterpie evolves into Metapod. Sorry, bad call. Okay, Pokemon quiz. Get it wrong, face a trainer. There are 9 certified gym badges. Well, according to Gary Oak, there's 10.
I've started Pokemon Furry, you can't win. Do you know who ate all the donuts?
I feel as though I really need to work on that sort of, Half-Life scientist voice. Oh dear! Yeah, it's like only now we're finally getting up to level 50. I was so worried about us hitting this mark again. Like what happened with Erica, but somehow it's all worked out, because I don't think we're gonna need to worry about the team reaching level 70 anytime soon. It would be insane if that were the case by the time we got to the Elite Four, but somehow I doubt it. Saw the crispy... Yeah, I did see it in passing, admittedly. And I just know. Because I'm fairly certain this happened with, I think it was Pop-Tarts? Pokemon branded Pop-Tarts? Where they just all got bought up by scalpers. Because it's impossible to enjoy anything in the Pokemon franchise anymore without having to spend extortionate amounts on the secondary market. I keep hearing constantly about, oh, how scalping for Pokemon products is dying over time, but then I keep seeing more of it, and I just think it's not dying fast enough. Do you know how hot Pokemon Fire Breath can get? Have you ever been mountain biking? Yeah, this is more of these inane questions before we participate in death battles. Let's go far-fetched. No, let's get far-fetched a little bit of experience. I think you can do with it. It's time to give those tails of yours a trim. Did I leave the stove back out on Pokemon battle? Yeah, that's definitely how it feels. That's definitely how it feels sometimes. Oh, how nice you brought all your Vulpixes to get a haircut. How considerate of you. You must be really big into Pokemon breeding. You know, like Brock is. Being far type with the orange yellow and the safe side of the temperatures, you see Pokemon blue, purple, purple. Ah, I see. I see. That's a sign of power creep, obviously. Let's see. I mean, not... what does that say about a Pokemon with green breath? I'm guessing they just ate some copper wiring. I just like using fire-type Pokemon. I mean, okay. Okay, fella. Ramon. Oh, he's one of the Ramones. Hey, play Blitzkrieg Bop. My dad loves that song.
What to handle?
Yeah, let's go Nidoking. Let's see. Pokemon quiz. Get it right. Here we go. Poliwag evolves 3 times. So is Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath, Politoad. I mean, it probably should evolve 3 times to deal with the power. I'll stop. What's the quiz? What have you got next for me? If you want to conserve, yes. Are electric-type moves effective against ground-type Pokemon? According to the anime, yes. Pikachu, go for the horn! Or, you know, just resort to using the sprinkler system to cheat. It's like they really wrote themselves into a corner with having Pikachu be Ash's starter Pokemon, didn't they? Green Fire is the same temperature. Yeah, I figured. It's just that they chewed on some copper wiring beforehand. Mostly say, because that's one of the only things I remember from chemistry. It's like, oh yeah, just put all these different things on into a Bunsen burner and see what happens to the color of the flame. I think it was potassium that changed the flame to like white or purple. I think. Well, this is really cool, like making blue crystals. It's become lost in the mountains, but good. Night fell and a fiery bird Pokemon appeared as light allowed Blaine to find his way down safely. So, Blaine just had an encounter with Moltres. Pokemon at the same type and level are not identical. They should be. You're absolutely correct. I answered the thing wrong, damn it. Yeah, purple is potassium and white is I knew it was one of the two. It's like funny that potassium and magnesium only really make funny different colors when exposed to fire, but when you expose them to water, they just explode violently. Well, mostly potassium and sodium and whatnot. I don't really put sodium into a Bunsen burner. I imagine that wouldn't have ended well. You know, given just what happens with sodium doing it. Hey, Jarrett. Yeah, mostly just with regards to how sodium reacts with seemingly anything. Who's Bunsen? Why are we burning him? I don't know, that's just that all my chemistry teachers seemingly had a bone to pick with that guy for whatever reason. I didn't really get it either. Oh, this is going to be fun. Using an ice type in the fire gym. Which fire type is a... Brixen is probably a good choice. Get it wrong, face it. But I would also probably say Torchic. I like Torchic. Contains Tombstoney. I want to use Tombstone. I'm kind of surprised that they never actually added this as a proper move at some point. You know, Tombstone sounds like an awesome move. I guess the closest we ever got was Last Respects. Fire is weak against H2O. As opposed to H2O. It's H2O with the big 2. Which is completely different to water. Ninetales in the 90s. Well, yeah, but if you touch the tails, you're cursed for 1,000 years. You don't want that, do you? You don't want to leave your God of War for dead, do you? Comfort over curse. I mean, it's your funeral, buddy. It's your funeral. If you really want to be messing around with Ninetales like that. Anyways, here he is, Dr. Eggman. Actually, that's Drayden. But whatever. God of War, I'm sure I'll be fine. Ooh, look at this. It's a photo of Blaine and Mr. Fuji standing shoulder to shoulder with big grins. Interesting that this is here of all places. Yeah, good old Baldo here. I think prior to dealing with Blaine, I want to check out the lab first. We still need to revive some fossils. You're just sort of putting your legs like, ooh, when is he gonna actually go and fight Blaine? Tune in next to more of the stream to see how I deal against Blaine, but I'm guessing you already have an idea. I don't know, there's always something I liked about Cinnabar. I guess it's just that sense of, yes, you're in the home stretch and you're basically at your full strength now. No, I don't need to know more about your marvelous metronome. An amber pipe? Can I smunk from this? Can I smunk? Probably not. Probably best if I don't. Tune in next year when they finally slap Blaine around. This is Gerald, not Ivo. One doctor, study rare Pokemon fossils. Finally, we revived Lord Helix. Take a little time, you go for a walk a little while. What's your deal, sir? Looking for the Pokemon Ponyta. I want to trade one for Seal. I don't have Ponyta yet. Ponyta doesn't exist in the Pokedex yet. Have to go outside the reach of that. Here we go, got Almanites. We're not going to be using Almanite, but I mean, I have to give it the funny name. It is basically law at this point. There we go. I was so excited to finally realize that the old damn bird I've been carrying around actually contains Aerodactyl. Because my first experience with Aerodactyl, weirdly enough, is a like a picture book version / the novelization of that one episode from the anime where Charmeleon evolves into Charizard. And it's like, wow, Aerodactyl seems like such a threatening Pokemon. And like, well, it still is. It's one of the few Pokemon which is still just straight up using champions. Name it Caw. If you were a Pokemon, would you be Cinderace? I mean, I know a lot of people would probably say that. I'd probably say, honestly, Nidoking. Nidoking, in all honesty. I like the purple. Nidodork. Nido. And now we're just getting into fusion territory, and that's a a very, very dangerous road. Let's have a look at this thing. Yep, that's an Aerodactyl. Brave nature, so basically useless. And it's level 5, so basically no reason to use it. And don't get why they gave these to you at level 5. It's like at this point it's basically impossible for you to use them without basically spending ages and ages with the Versus Seeker. There's one more thing I want to look at in here. A photo of the lab's founder, Dr. Fuji. So according to this, Blaine and Fuji were lab buddies at some point. I do like the way the manga treats it, where it's like they were both working on Mewtwo, and now Blaine is essentially keeping Mewtwo stable by injecting some of his DNA into him or something like that, so they're basically like linked. And now Mewtwo is just killing people with the comically large spoon from Payday 2. Like that whole thing with Mewtwo with the huge spoon. He did still make it pretty cool though, anyways.
Ha! I am Blaine, the red-hot leader of Cinema Gym. My fiery Pokemon all rough and ready with intense heat that incinerates all challengers. You better have Burn Heal.
I don't know, for some reason back when I was a kid I always read you better have Burn Heal in more of a Beavis Butthead voice, like,
Hey, you better have Burn Heal. Fire, fire.
okay, this seems more along my level. Level 42. It's like we're back where we're supposed to be. Like I said, I might joke to you. Apparently. Considering what happened with Sabrina's gym. How embarrassing must this be for you, Blaine? You're getting dismantled by an ice type. Prior to Ice getting nerfed in Gen 2. Rapidash, just... It is a shame there isn't really that much variety with regards to, fire types in this... Oh, there it is. It was nice knowing you, Jinx. And of course it gets crits. Why am I not surprised? Alright. Let's send in Lickitung.
Faith in you, boy.
Hyper Potion. Sabrina, old design or new design? I'm gonna have to go back and reassess the older design, because it has been a little bit. I mean, obviously, with stuff like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, she doesn't use the whip anymore, which, I know is a disappointment to some people, at the very least. There it is, and look at that! Arcanine's actually, comparable level. Look at that. Let's go Screech. Because good luck trying to full restore from that. Oh, it's faster. Shoot. Lickitung, no! Is he good? And of course he just... Of course he doesn't survive. Whatever, though. Far-fetched. It's time. I have the... Let me just bring up the quote again. I need to get this right. Because I've been wanting to do this on stream for a fair bit. Gotta just bring up the quote here. I am the bone of my leek. Onion is my body and fire is my blood. I have used over 1,000 leeks, unknown to death nor known to life. Have withstood pain to create many weapons, yet these hands will never hold anything. So as I pray, unlimited leek works! It didn't work. Okay, it worked the second time. It burned down to nothing. Even ashes remain. You have earned the red badge. Once more with feeling. The red badge heightens the special stats of your Pokemon, as if they weren't high enough already. Here, you can have this too. Fire Blast is the ultimate fire-type technique, except for Overheat, which is also in this game. Don't waste it on water Pokemon. What if I wasted on a normal type? I'm going to give Blaine PTSD. It's like, no, don't put it on the Lickitung, please. Please, just put it on the Nidoking, if anything. Please, please don't do this. Why are you giving it to Lickitung? No! There we go, Lickitung's moveset is all set. Let's have a look at our marvelous creation, shall we? Let's observe. That is the most 10-year-old moveset I have ever seen. And it probably looks less cursed than the Nidoking's here. Just Shockwave. Cursed. Yes, that's the point. The movesets here are quite cursed. I mean, I'm sure that Lickitung will be able to get something done at the very least with a Calm Mind under its belt. Thanks to Mr. Mime. Again, we have Baton Pass, so we can make this work. So it doesn't necessarily matter that all our special attacks kind of suck. Hi, Bill.
Well, hey, if it isn't Stint. Look, it's me, Bill. Long time no see. I hope you're still using my PC system. Well, listen, since I'm out of here, how about spending some time with me? There's still an island in the far south called One Island. It feels like I'm going for more Australia. A friend invited me, so I'm on my way there. How about it? Do you feel like coming with me?
Time for filler. It's like, oh boy, we just realized that you're probably going to be vastly underleveled for the Elite Four. How can we possibly prevent this?
Looks like my pal's boat's arrived too. He's sent it here especially to Cinnabon to pick me up.
I do admittedly have a fair bit of a fondness for the Sevi Islands, though.
Here we are, this is One Island. There's several islands around here, but this is one of them. My friend Celio has sent the...
Celio Green? Aren't you driving round town with this jinx I know, and I'm like, fluff you.
He's in charge of the island's PC network by his lonesome. Why am I telling you this now? Let's just go see Celio.
I remember hearing that song like non-stop on the radio in the early 2010s.
Hey there, Celio. Bill, I can't believe you came out here. Well, absolutely. How's your research coming along? Oh, wait a sec. Instead, this is my buddy Celio. He's a dedicated PC maniac.
This just looks like the normal rig you just use to run a 5090.
Celio, this is Stint, a rising contender as a Pokemon champ.
I wonder how much of this is dedicated to Bitcoin mining.
Well, that's really impressive. I hate to say it, but I have zero aptitude for battling. Anyways, I'm glad to meet you. So, bring me up to speed. How's your machine running?
Still hearing on the radio? Yeah, because there's no good music being released anymore, so they have to go back to all the old stuff. Well, I say old stuff. I mean as though, relatively speaking.
It's running fine, but we're too remote out here. The pieces on this island just can't link up with your PC, Bill. Oh yeah, well let me take a look, see. Hang on here, I think we'll make this work. Let me help you, okay? Can I get you to wait for me just a bit? Actually, can I get you to do me a favour? The one next to this one's called 2 Island. There's a guy that runs a game corner. He has this thing for rare rocks and gems. We keep in touch, being fellow maniacs, so, can I get you to deliver this meteorite for him? I can't believe it just casually gave me a Rayquaza Knight. If you're going to 2 Island, please take this.
There we go, get the tri-pass.
It's a pass for the ferry service serving the local islands. It'll let you travel between islands 1, 2, and 3. Oh, you should have this too.
Nice.
Catch you later. Say hi to the guy for me. So now comes the interesting question. Also, interesting that we have like a new rendition of the Pokemon Center theme specifically for this one. Great Pokemon with a boyfriend lives far away. Most runs originally come from Peloton? I don't know it. It's an enormous volcano. It hasn't erupted lately, so why not enjoy a hike? So now comes the interesting question. Do we just, speed run the filler or take some time to navigate one island? Because I imagine if we just speed run the storyline here, I'm probably just gonna go and fight all the trainers around here anyway. Just level up. At this point, it feels like it could go either way. Now, it's just something about this area in particular. Just sort of reminds me of old, like, holidays we used to go where we just, like, rented out, like, a trailer in a trailer park. And all I had for entertainment was my GBA SP, just playing this. Say, take your time with it. Okay. So let's just explore here. We're not going to delve too deep into Mount Ember, because obviously we can't at the moment. Hello, you. You're going to get a We'll go back inside. If you're starting to get a sunburn, then don't be in the sun. Simple as. So what do you think this is? What do you think this is, Benidorm? Pokemon here seem, level-wise, to be a little bit more on par with me by the looks of it. I say relatively more. It's not level 20s. It's not level 20s at the very least. It's just, level 36 and you still haven't evolved these into Golducks. What's wrong with you? Oh yeah, I forgot I got rid of Magic Leaf. Let's do Combine. Let's see how this works. Feels kind of weird only having a single attack move here. I mean, thankfully there's no dark types in Gen 1, so we should be fine. We should be fine. Oh, you do have a Golduck. I see. Good to know then. Carry on. Carry on. At least you evolved one of your Pokemon. Still just thinking again that Gold is not part Psychic. Yeah, I'm still confused as to why that's the case. Like, the biggest thing people know about Psyduck is the fact that if its headache gets too intense, it just explodes with psychic powers. So you'd think, as a result, it would do psychic attacks and be psychic type, but apparently it just isn't. And it's one of those things which especially seems weird because you'd think, oh, it's just a whole lot of type overlap with Slowbro. That doesn't really hold up given the vast amounts of grass and poison types in this game. It's just like you got Bob-Plume, you got Victreebel, you just got so much redundancy with regards to Pokemon with the same typings in these games. So it's like, why not? Why not give Golduck Water Psychic typing? To go along with, you know, Slowbro and Starmie. Oh, I actually have a Pikachu, that's nice. It's a shame I'm gonna have to invert it now. Just realized we're only now just knocking on the door to level 50. I feel at this point that we're basically just going to break Lance over our need, or at very least Jinx is. It's just Jinx is gonna take one look at Lance's team and it's just going to be reduced to atoms. Let's get Lickitung up front for a little bit. I want to see if I can land a Fire Blast.
Also, fairly soon you can catch ponytas around here, which I'm going to use to get a seal. Because I've been waiting on that long enough. Everything takes straight when you're out in the wild. I don't know, I've been picnicking before, and I've never really been a big fan of what happens to sandwiches out in the wild. Just kept inside that confined lunch, the little lunch box, and just... They don't really taste as good after they've been, like, wrapped in cling film, as opposed to freshly made, you know? Yeah, even so, I still remember the days. Going out on, like, walks and trips and taking picnics and whatnot. Just having, like, sandwiches which have just been cut into, like, 4 little triangles. Ham and, the equivalent of Kraft singles. It's like, like, it probably wasn't the best for me, but... I don't know, I still have a bit of a soft spot for Kraft singles, just the creaminess of them. It's like they have their place. Kraft singles can have their moments. Well, I say Kraft singles, but some over here would just refer to it as plastic cheese, which I'd say is fairly accurate. You don't remember last time I had a Kraft single? I kind of want to try having Kraft singles again at some point, just for old time's sake. There's obviously Kraft singles slash plastic cheese is normally just associated with stuff you put on tops of burgers and whatnot. At least that's how it is over here. I'm fairly certain Kraft singles are... Well, I wouldn't say more of a staple for burgers, but I'd say they're more a staple for grilled cheeses. Day in which we don't train. Oh, you're about to have a very bad day, Vet, since you're a fighting type user. And it really feels as though, in regards to how my team is set up, the only elite foreman which is going to prove somewhat of a threat is going to be Lorelei. And even then, I have Electrode. So that's gonna be fun. Such a fool. Correct, you are quite difficult for battling moi. Again, it feels as though I've not really been rolling that well in the encounters. Sure, let's fight you. Let's fight you. Take a break from swim and only have you challenge. Yeah, you should have gotten back in the water. I'm on the hunt for more experience. You should have known. Here we go. War Turtle. It's always such a pleasant surprise seeing this guy. And I already mentioned how I feel about regular trainers. No Halo, because unfortunately 2 in a row to try to beat it before. I did beat it. I did beat Halo. You just weren't there for it. I already stuck a plasma grenade to the funny grunts at the end of the level and drove in the wrong direction. You probably would have loved it, Noivern. I always like Wartle being probably. You did beat a hair, so you inflate, but what are you talking about? Actually, I think that was more so. Let me just check real quick. Because I think that usually happens on its own with regards to. Okay, it isn't any sort of subscription or following notification, because I would have been made more aware of that. Anyway, oh, never mind. lord. Let's have a look-see. So... Resub... Oh, okay. Did resub with Prime stuff? What was that? It probably was. It probably was, in all honesty. Again, I really gotta keep more on track with these sort of notifications, because, it's like, when it rains, it pours. Okie doke. It just sort of occurred to me just how cursed was just don't sneeze. I mean, given my baby's sister has been to visit over this weekend and has caught a little bit of a skick on the way here, I can't make any promises. Let's say baby sister, she's like in her 20s. And that's all I'm gonna say. Mick and Kia. It feels like the name is supposed to be seemingly like an anagram for something, but I can't tell what. You know what? Fluff it, Blizzard. I have yet to see Licky Tongue land one. You said it. Shush, Neuven, shush. Licky Tongue is gonna land one of those eventually. You'll see. You'll all see. You know what? I'm gonna give you another chance. Let's see you land a Fire Blast. Go for it, Licky Tongue. Yes. I can't believe it. Machug literally just said, "You're going to orbit, you stupid mime." Yeah, let's just get rid of him. Let's just delete him. You're going to orbit, you stupid mime. Mr. Mime with metronome sounds like a fun idea. I'm fairly certain that Mr. Mime would be a pretty hefty poster child for metronome cops, but that's not what I've been. I mean, that would have been fun though, just like dual screens and then metronome. But this is basically what I decided to go with. Maybe if I end up using Mr. Mime in the future, then I'll consider, you know, metronome. Just going for all the extra chaos. But I did make a promise I wasn't going to be using any tutored moves in this run. Just going off of the TMs which have been given to me / found on the side of the road. We finally hit level 50. Safeguard? No, we don't need safeguards. We're going right to the ding. Like matches only. Yeah, metronome cups. That is a thing. Like, it's mostly a joke thing, but it's still a thing. I remember specifically in Gale of Darkness, there was this one battle sim battle that you could partake in where it was just metronomes. Seems kind of obligatory in my view, but at the same time, can be quite annoying because you just at the mercy forever of RNG. Just like, oh, what's that? You use Growl? Well, your opponent just used Aeroblast, and now you're dead. Oh yeah, the enemy Geodude just metronomed into explosion and killed your entire party. Have fun. What about Magnitude Cup? I don't... It feels as though Magnitude is just another one of those moves which, was just introduced as a quirky thing in Gen 1 and just... Actually, wait, Magnitude was like Gen 2, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember what Gen Magnitude was introduced in, because... I know it wasn't Gen 1, because Gen 1 only had like 2 ground-type moves. I'm actually using Baton Patch for the first time. Let's do Lickitung. Let's do the meme. It doesn't matter that my special stats are... Oh. Whatever, I'm going to blast you into pieces. Okay, Magnitude was Gen 2. Yeah, just another one of those quirky early gen moves, which it feels as though nobody really talks about anymore. It's a shame, because I feel as though a lot of these earlier moves had a fair bit of charm to them. You know, stuff like, you know, Magnitude, Metronome. It feels as though everything nowadays is a lot more specialized, which I suppose could be considered better for making it so Pokemon are actually useful, and you have all these signature moves, which are usually like game-breaking, in order to give Pokemon a sense of identity, which is... I get the reasoning behind it, but again, I sort of miss the quirkiness of some of the moves in the earlier gens. It would be an early game move, maybe for a start. Yeah, but unfortunately that's never the case. So handing down volcanoes, the Ember Spot here, well I made it years ago, I hewed the pool right out of the giant boulder in my hand. I was using this at the time, I suppose I got part with it. Yeah, we just casually get Rock Smash. Shatters boulders though they're made of crackers! No crackers from it! Nice bowl of yeah, I've been, recently I have been enjoying my fair few, cream crackers. I mean, they're probably, like, filled with lead or something, but, they are still, like, the most iconic of the British crackers. You know, the ones which you put cheese on. There's, like, a Jacob's cream cracker with the creamy slice of Wensleydale, or I suppose just, cheddar, double Gloucester, whatever takes your fancy. Nice mug of tea, and everything's right with the world. At least for, like, the duration of the meal. Well, I say meal is more of a snack, really. Either that or it's dessert. That's just something that always sort of, confused me with regards to, desserts here in, well, mostly over here. Is you have the option of a dessert, or just like a cheese board with various cheeses and crackers and whatnot, and maybe some grapes. I mean, grapes make sense, but I was like, what would you rather have as a dessert? Nice chocolate ice cream, or some Stilton. I mean, it probably wouldn't be Stilton, but you know what I mean. Just always found it so strange as a kid. Oh, hey, it's Finn. We found the guy from the bad Star Wars movies, and he even has a Starmie. Oh, correction, had a Starmie. Just trying to. It's like I'm grasping at straws here for stuff to find interesting. Well, aren't you tough? Mayas Prime and Machamp are the only pure fighting ones with evolutions. Well, I wouldn't say Primeape anymore, mostly just Machamp now, because obviously Annihilate exists, and isn't meaning that Primeape now evolves into a Ghost type. Maria! What are you doing here? Anyways. I just feel bad for all these swimmers whenever I pull out Electrode. It's like, you know this is going to only end one way, right? I'll help being interested in my weird factoids for the Hitmon family. Yeah, I suppose Hitmon family as well, though it feels as though they've just been thrown to the wayside over time. Gotta make room for Urshifu, don't you know? I think I've hooked a big one! I was gonna say, is this the 6 Magikarp guy? No. No, he's evolved. He's become the 5 Goldeen guy. Let's see what you got, buddy. You have anything other than some Goldeens to challenge me? I'll take that as a no. Let's give Lickitung a little bit of some fun. Let's see if he can actually land some thunders. I haven't seen a Sea King in the games for a while. Yeah. That is an interesting one, because I figure that, especially with Sword and Shield, they would have been all about the Kanto favoritism, but apparently not. Oh, you actually do have a Sea King, speaking of which. Just, I don't know, Sea King just sort of feels like one of those filler Pokemon from, from Gen 1. It sort of reminds me a little bit in that regard of Luminion, where it's just like, why do you exist? I mean, to be fair, I suppose a lot of people kind of forget it exists as well. I always find it kind of interesting whenever it shows up in stuff like Gale of Darkness and using Warfare. Like, oh hey, it's that guy. Anyways. Maybe I should use Seeking on a playthrough at some point, just to test it out. Just be like, actually give it. That's the case for a lot of water type Pokemon. Yeah, it is kind of unfortunate, really. Just with the sheer amount they decided to put in, where it's like they cut Pokemon like Ho-Oh and Sneasel, and I want to say Ursaring and Scizor from this, and we just got stuff like Seaking and Seadra and all these various Pokemon where it's like, you don't really need to be here. Misty's Mon kind of only wants you fish money, alternatives are magical. Yeah, I suppose it is like the true proper fish Pokemon of this gen. Yeah, that's what they're going for. I mean, I'd say this whole thing, like, why do Pokemon exist? Why do various Pokemon exist? But, that's sort of the point, where there's... You just have these, various things here to sort of fill out and enrich the experience, so it's not like you're facing the same stuff over and over again. Even though, with stuff like Seeking, you're constantly facing it over and over again. So, okay, what's about the explosion with the end of us? How terrifying is that? Would you like to teach explosion? Who can learn explosion? Terribly brave! Okay, it's just Electrode. Yeah, you're right, it's probably too terrifying. Oh, trust me, Electrode is going to learn explosion eventually. Just figured I'd let him learn on his own time. Actually, I think I'll save going through Mount Ember for another time. We have 1,000 Pokemon, only like 250 are worth remembering. That is kind of the unfortunate thing, really. Because I keep, like, I've constantly tried to bring forth the question, how many Pokemon is enough? And it really sort of feels as though a vast majority of them are just ones which people only care about with regards to memes, but aside from that, it's mostly just, you know, only like, at most a quarter of them, maybe half, maybe a third, are ones people are overly properly fond of. I mean, sure, there's the ones which are just newly introduced each gen, which people get attached to all over again, but mostly Pokemon Tonic duplicate Mons have a viable strat here. No, bring no Ghost, bring no Gengar and Haunted. That's what Agatha did. I mean, yeah, but that's just a result of the limited dex count. I'm fairly certain that if they were available, she would have been bringing Dusclops and Misdreavus. Just to spice things up. Once I just realized, I have the potential of just slicing yet another Arbok in half. Speaking of the manga. And I'm fairly certain that was like a substitute, but even so, that was still very brutal imagery, which I kind of missed from the... And of course you have Rest. Why wouldn't you have Rest? It's only a matter of time, buddy.
You're merely postponing the inevitable.
There. What did I just say? They all fall eventually. Feels awful? Yeah. Feels badman. And here we are, welcome to Treasure Beach, which is just filled an item finder's paradise, because you step on the grass here and you constantly find up to your legs in up to your ankles rather, and various goodies you can just find on the beach here. So this limited first place, see the appreciation Pokemon, Pokemon species that we tend to forget about. There isn't one Gengar and one Dustin. Unless you count the Mystery Dungeon series. But I get your point. I suppose in that sense, there's no harm in using whatever Mega Evolution you want as well, in that regard, because there doesn't have to be just one Mega Gardevoir, one Mega Charizard, or one Mega Greninja in the world, either. Oh hey, it's Persian! I'm kind of surprised to see you here, buddy. Have a Shockwave. I think that's like my weakest attack. Yeah, you see, I'm able to actually catch something for once. I remember when you were super powerful back in Gen 1 with infinite crit works. Shame we're not going to be seeing that here, but it's still nice to see you. I always feel a little bit bad for Persian, given it's like it had this one thing that it was good at in Gen 1, and then it just didn't have anything like that again. It just fell off even harder than Tauros. Many admired it. It's tough to raise as a pet because of its fickle... Yeah. Wouldn't really say I'm much of a cat person either. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go to 2 Island now. Seems powerful normally means it goes super effective. Well, yeah, the main thing Persian had back in Gen 1 is that crit rate was based on the speed stat, and with Slash, Persian had like a 90... I want to say 99.6%, or was it just 96% chance? Anyways, it was an almost guaranteed chance to just crit with every single Slash it did. Anyways, let's go to 2 Island. So you basically just had non-stop crits constantly. Danger, fast cur... Okay, so... Interesting that you can't actually surf along here. Could have sworn there was like a thing over there that you... There was an item over there, and I want to get the item. Oh. Well, I guess we aren't getting the item. Alright, let's just see... Oh, we actually have a market. Welcome to my shop. We only opened up recently. Our merchandise is limited. So great balls, and I have like 140,000 yen. Fellow very moved different seller. Honestly, he started out a shop using his younger brother. You have to wonder what he's getting into. Skip and chomp. Joyful game corner. You ever tried the jumping game? Some go boing, others go boing. I think we found Gerald McBoing Boing. It seems as though he's been making a happy life for himself. You really do get the sense that this island is a lot bigger than it's implied to be, which is what isn't there. I know this part off by heart at this point. Go over here. Fairly certain I still have the item finder. I'm not sure if there's any other areas that do this. I do have the item... No, I don't have the item finder. Shoot. Okay, never mind. Probably gonna have to go around and pick that up at some point. Bellsprout. Shazbot. I perfected the ultimate move that's type, but no one take it for future use. That Nidoking. No, it's just mistaken. Yeah. It's a shame that Hyper Beam moves were basically nerfed Gen 2 onwards, because I really would have liked to have been able to use Blast Burn for stuff that wasn't just me clowning around with a 10-year-old's moveset. Anyways.
Now where's Lost Doll gone to today? She always brings me lunch every day around about now.
Oh, it's lunchtime apparently. Even though the sun never sets.
You a friend of Lost Doll's? Have you seen Lost Doll around? I don't know where she might be. She'd have been here long ago. Lost Doll's so cutie. She's got looks. She's got my looks. So what if someone Something's happened to my Lostel. Please find her. Go search Free Island. Hey, what is this game going? I'm gonna say to get this get. Those clowns, they said I'd be waiting for on the islands. Where are they? Hey, yo, is this the only free island around here? Try waking up before you crawl in a bed, you punk. This is 2 Island. Move it, get your filthy motorbike.
He just casually brought his motorbike onto the doormat.
Huh? Oh, gotcha. Sounds like confusing.
How?
Look at that, that punk scuffed up my floor.
Place... Okay, house with the red roof. Okay, time to go off to Free Island. You and your katakanjis, Noiva, and you always have to be difficult. Anyways, here we are at lovely Free Island, which seems to be the biggest of the... Oh, look at them go. 4 coves to spend. I'll call the police. Kanto Rider Federation. Then why aren't you, My bike's whipping, so I have to make the exhaust noises myself. This is just reminding me of, what was it, in the anime, when James was part of a biker gang, but he had to have stabilizers on. Oh, Blast Burn. Because I'm not even sure they call it the same... Yeah, yeah, Blast Burn. It's really only the way for me to say it. Luckily, it's already been said that over the second last card that should have been passion.
How's it going? What am I doing here? Yes, well, I'm prospecting for gold on a strike ridge and buying a house in Kanto.
This really reminds me of that one guy in, Diamond and Pearl that dug his way all the way into the Salacion ruins. In the tunnel with all the hippopotamuses in it.
This day on this island belongs to us.
I've missed the Klondike Rush. Rare rocks and gems. Cram full of Pokemon books. Should be packed with all kinds of things, of delicious things to eat.
Someone cooked here.
Yeah, I don't think Lostella's here. Whatever, let's just have a look and see what everyone's up to in here. It's possible surfacing the islands in these parts. The tide's too fast and treacherous. Approach those folks like giant soldiers sort of cold collectively go hey 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 with the camera slowly panning across them. You'd think.
Hear the news? The PC network's here can now link with the PCs in Kanto.
Oh, I guess they just couldn't do that on 2 Island. Okay. Well, let's go and beat up some bikers.
Gonna smoke me a fat brisket, got my barbecue shoes on.
You're the boss? Go back to Kanto right now.
Heh, I just got here, pal. What's the hostile adder that's mighty cold here?
Gang of Fall has been raising havoc on all their bikes. You have any idea how much trouble they've cost us on this island?
Oh man, I don't get it at all. Look at this place. What do you do for entertainment? You ought to be thanking us for livening up the sleepy village. But hey, if you insist, you can try making us leave.
You cowards, so tough in a pack.
Hey, what are you staring at? Don't you know it ain't polite? You wanna make something of it or what?
Yeah, I do.
You're losing money to me, but...
Oh, this poor guy. I'm just going to crush his bike. I'm just going to end up crunching up his bike like in Chronicle. Surf will probably do it. I know you have high defense coughing, so... Wow, I wasn't expecting Surf to do that much. Bro really said you want to fight? Yeah, he did. And now he's paying the price. Mods pop this guy's tires. Mods, cut this guy's brake line. Too bad the plague took it. Yeah, it is unfortunate. Hopefully he gets better soon. Oh man, don't you dare laugh. Ain't you from Kanto? You should be on our side. Just because we're from the same place doesn't mean I agree with everything you believe in. You know, maybe I like this place the way it is. Maybe I like the peace and quiet. Yeah, this really just feels like free XP at this point. Biker Goon. I can't believe they literally just have folks called Goon. What's the matter? You're getting all odd like that. Totally uncool, man. By the boss out of you just had to mess it up. You embarrassed us, man. Just another Biker Goon. Quiet and you hear just an ah in the distance. Just another panic attack from good old Vel. Let's get far-fetched in here. I know he's probably gonna get smokescreen, but that's fine. Or poisoned. Oh goody, minimize. My favorite move. I'm surprised this is the one they did they actually remove minimize in the sword and shield cuts? I mean, I hope I did. I hope they did. This move is like the bane of my existence, as well as probably a fair few other people's. Just constantly having to listen to Velicify being all pretentious about the fact that they just spams minimize and stockpile. And then claims that when people use equally, if not equally as cheap tactics as him, he calls it like stalling and unfair, even though he's being the one who's stalling and unfair. But watching it, I'd say you've done enough. What are you, the friend or something? I guess you'll be bad me in my place. Cue Ball Paxton. It's nice to know this one at the very least has a name. It doesn't matter to me though. You're gonna fall all the same. Let's see. Oh, actually using a poison move for once. That's... And of course I get poisoned. Let the art star this one thing that this why puts in his videos is so and so bad is apparently always in PvP. He is always in PvP mode. Just constantly throwing out accusations left and right based on people which are, well, let's just say better than him. I want to say, how much poison am I going to end up suffering here? Yeah, I'm just gonna dismantle you real quick. I'm gonna get rid of that tumor by force. And of course he has a muck. Why wouldn't he have a muck? I was gonna say that Silco was like the last time we'd probably be fighting poison type, but I guess I was wrong. Leather Gem one was the poison. Yeah. It feels as though at least a third of the Pokédex was poison types, which I guess is more so they was deemed like the evil types before dog type was invented. Why does he look cut in half? Well, because that's basically what I did to him. Well, I haven't seen the last of this boring island. Yeah, go right ahead hanging around with these hayseeds. Just need to heal up first. There's a split on that part of... Oh, right. I see it right now on the yellow... I think that's just, I'm guessing that's just because of, how I've been rendering the screen. I figured it would have looked better in 4x3 as opposed to 16:9, because obviously this game isn't in 16:9. It's just in this weird aspect ratio, which, seems rather alien. Thank you, those goons went off in bad trouble. Oh, your Pokemon got hurt on my account. You got seriously impressive Pokemon with you. Fantastic for someone as strong as you lived here. I hope at least you'll stay here for a while. It's not as obvious, I only noticed due to taking propaganda, as you guys say. You're looking for Lostel. Lostel went off towards Bond Bridge a while ago. Well, we may as well look around here a little bit. Probably going off to Berry Forest, going off to pick berries. As is your ones in Bumfluff Nowhere. Train my Dodu on the Berry Forest. Gonna play on 2 islands. That sounds nice. Life on these islands must be kind of nice, even if this is basically a filler arc. There are ghosts in the Berry Forest. Woo! Berry Forest just makes me think of Apple Woods now. And the possibility of just being jumped by monster houses. Most populous of the islands here, still it could be less sleepy. I wouldn't want to see ghouls. Think I'll go out fishing? Yeah. This really just seems like a nice place to live if you really want to just get away from it all. It's useless, I can't bring the spoon back without mine. Maybe I don't have any psychic powers. No, that girl generally in Saffron City, she uses psychic type of. I really do. I've heard she's one cool customer. And well, I remember when people said when do avoid from. Interesting observation. I mean, it's wrong, but it's interesting. Let's put in Lickitung first. Go with the normal squad. Oops. Wow, we actually found a baby Nurse Joy out in the wild. I thought these things were an impossible. Joy and Meg. Yeah, I think you know where this is going. Yeah, Farfetch surprisingly putting in work still. It's nice to see. Yes, we finally landed a blizzard! It probably wasn't worth it, I don't care. Yeah, and they're getting the frozen proc again as well. Oh, never mind, I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know, it just feels as though Frozen is kind of useless in this game. With how quickly everybody just falls out. Let's go for a Flunder. And of course I get a crit. The one time I don't need a crit and I get one. I don't remember there being too many trainers around here. Then again, I do recall spending a fair bit of time here using the Versus Seeker just to level up. I think mostly just to fill out the Pokédex, I think. As we saw, a fairly high level in terms of trainers, relatively speaking. I'm a fire type and will just Frost Strat 6 turns later. You can't break those cuffs, man. What are you up to in such a... Berry Forest. I need to go and rescue a lost girl. Without you one... It's level 36 and it's still Bulbasaur. What's wrong with you? It's like, at the very least have an Ivysaur at this point, please. Oh, we actually have an Ivysaur. Is she gonna have a Venusaur? You better have a Venusaur. Look at that, the entire team is now level 50. Frozen actually very bust in this game, 20% chance to fall. Wow, there's no limit, you could say Frozen. I mean, I know it was more so broken in Gen 1, considering how often it happened whenever you were spamming Blizzard. But that's obviously not the case with Gen 2 onwards. I actually dodged the sleep powder for once. You should have evolved this one. I'm just gonna keep Farfetch'd at the front for a little bit. Hello, child. Lol, Pokemon! Lol. I do gotta wonder how often people get sick and tired of me pulling out that voice. Whatever, though. That weird voice she made me swallow up. What? I'm glad you enjoyed it at the very least, Noihern. Because that's one I constantly pull out all the time. Unlike the Golem voice, which I feel as though I have been, rather, lacking in recent times. But then again, there's not really been much of a, need for it, so... You sounded like the Krabby. Cookie! What happens now? Let's do Electrode for a little bit. Electrode could use a little bit more experience. Oh yeah, I remember this trainer being quite interesting. Oh no, don't come here, please stay away from me! Why? I'm just here for experience, lady. You don't have to make such a hustle out of it. Oh, she has a Kingler. We actually find a trainer with a Kingler. The Cookie Monster himself. Never mind. Okay, you've won. Now will you please go away? Pokemon bit me in my swimsuit. I can't get out of the water. Like, oh, that is a very depressing fate. The fact that you cannot get out of the water without exposing yourself in a children's game, so you're just stuck there for the rest of time. My mama said I can't swim in my float room. Do you have any interesting Pokemon at the very least? Also interesting that this is the only instance where we actually find, VTuber trainers. Because obviously they didn't exist back in Gen 1. So they just aren't in Kanto. It is quite interesting, really, because it feels as though, yeah, chill out, Meatball. Yeah, it really feels as though with, the Sevions, they were allowed to actually add in a lot of the trainer types which were introduced in Gen 3, and just put them all here just to sort of represent them a little bit. At least she doesn't pull a James from the... Well, I mean, yeah, but then again, that's what I'm here for. Whoa, whoa. The salty tang of the sea, it tickles my heart. Have you ever gone mountain biking? Again, I'm just going to keep referencing that because it's so funny. Because it is so true that all these sort of out-of-pocket questions are so accurate to how trainers in these games just sort of talk to you. Just spouting out all these random things before participating in death matches. Does that make Vel just... That is an interesting thought, but considering Vel isn't a redhead, I'm gonna say no. Probably more likely Meowth. If I'm being honest. Oh, lovely crit. Aren't I built like Meowth? You're built like a bat as opposed to a cat. I don't know what to tell you, Noivern. It ain't happening. Anyways, I think we're done with all the trainers in meeting. Finally, we can go into Berry Woods. The Berry Forest. Never saw him as a llama, but I'll take your word for it. That is a good point, actually. That doesn't look like a ghost. That just looks like, yeah, this doesn't seem like the sort of place little girls should just be wandering around in if there's just casually, drowsies in here commonly. Gonna tell my zoo pet place to bully you. Well, good luck, because most of my team has super effective coverage. Oh, I actually can find executes out here. That's kind of neat. You're gonna kind of forget the stuff that you can encounter out here, because it's been a little bit. And obviously, you just find berries in the berry forest. Goes without saying, really. Oh, there's a thing down there. Okay, this just seems like regular forest. The Zubat cave plus walking equals walking into the wrong neighborhood. Yeah, that's about the size of it. And of course, the alternative is of course Tentacool, the Zubat of the sea. Alright, now where am I? Okay, so you can also find Venonats out here. That's pretty neat. I already caught Venonat though, so it doesn't necessarily matter. Well, we're here now. Now that's just protected. Okay, Wild Weeping Bells. Feels as though you can definitely get a lot of interesting, mons out here for your Pokédex. Assuming you haven't caught them already. Also, I'm fairly certain there's an item over here. You'll just go... Oh. Now that is just taking the Michael, isn't it? Why do you need so many trees here? We're wild berry-living Pokemon. I mean, considering Drowsy, I'm sure they love things other than berries. Hello.
Oh, please help! A scary Pokemon appeared there a little while ago and kept scaring. I'm not lost, I'm scared. I'm too scared to move, but I want to go home. Oh, here comes again. Oh, go on, scaring me. I want my daddy.
What could possibly be terrifying this small child? It's Jimmy! It's Jimmy! I mean, I know the joke would probably be Mandelson, but, oh, of course there's Insomnia. Last Burn plus White Herb could, potentially be very funny, I think. What, you mean? I think you're getting that mixed up with Overheat, Noivern. White Herb, fixes stat reductions. Blast Burn does not reduce stats, as far as I recall. Maybe add gravity to the Why? Noivern, can you turn off the stove, please? You're burning the kitchen... You're blast burning the kitchen down. Was a recharge move what Whiteheart was the... It's not the recharge. There isn't a... I'm fairly certain there isn't an item in Pokemon which allows you to bypass Hyper Beam's recharge. As otherwise you would actually see Hyper Beam being used in competitive. On stuff that isn't Sylveon. There's the Power Herb, which is just, for bypassing the charging of moves like Solar Beam and Geomancy. Again, I think you're getting mixed up. Not sure what gravity has to do anything with it, though. I thought that was just mostly to guarantee, sleep on the enemy team, basically. Just make it so all your moves have perfect accuracy. From what I recall, I think that's how gravity works, from what I've seen in Champions. This thing just does not want to go on the ball, does it? Yeah, Power Herb eliminates the charge. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I think I'm just gonna switch over to Nidoking for this. Try poisoning me now, idiot. Just increases accuracy by a large percentage among other... Yeah. Plus allows, flying types to be hit by ground moves. Or just disables Levitate, I don't remember. There we go, got Hypno. Alongside the enemy, we use a mix of PSI Hypnosis and Confusion. I mean, obviously I gotta nickname this thing, I had to be a little bit more on the nose about it, honestly. Was just fair for the cupcake.
Oh, that was so scary. Thank you. Last I'll come to pick up some berries. You can have this.
You pop a bear. I'm not gonna use that.
Oh, what's your name? Last I'll scared, so can I get you to come with me to Daddy's house? Okay, let's go home.
Just there for, yeah, just there for Belly.
So you rescued Lostel. How can I thank you? Lostel, darling, forgive me. Daddy knew you were scared and in trouble.
It's okay, Daddy. I got to be friends with Stunt. Listen, please show me you're being cool again.
What's that? You're saying this is for me? How'd you know I love rare rocks and gems? Sure know how to make a guy happy.
To lost it. Please do not say that again, game.
Oh, I see this is from Bill. You'll have to thank him for me. You know, you've been fantastic. I want you to have this.
Now I can use that to fill out the Pokédex. Because I'm fairly certain I still need to get a Nidoqueen. Let me check. Let's see. Yeah, got Clefable, got Wigglytuff. Do I have a Nidorina? I do have a Nidorina, so more Pokédex filling out time. Actually filling out the Pokédex live on stream for once, who would have thunk it? Alright, get over here, you. You at the bottom of my bag. Along with all the detritus. He was working on a Roblox game. He never misses. He never misses. He was working on a Roblox game, Belle. He wanted to show it to Lostel, among other things. Obviously not going to be using Hypno on the team for obvious reasons, but, yeah. I had to make that joke at least once. Yeah, Bella's still alive. He just had to, go sleep, I suppose. Burn off the skick via sleep. Thanks to your feet, the people of Free Island have changed their attitudes on counter people, and I'm from County, you see, so the people of Free Island help me add to my merchandise. Sweet, we get Ultra Balls, we get Sodigogs. Crazy, this child is named Lostel, and he's like, I wonder what she gets up to. It's a complete mystery to me. It's like, I wonder what the child called Lostel could possibly be doing in her spare time. Surely nothing bad will happen to her, right? I mean, this is basically... We basically don't ever see her again after this game, so we can only assume she went on to live a happy life. Or something. I don't know. Well, that's, all of, the Sevi Islands filler arc done. Part of me kind of wishes that we did actually get to go to the Orange Islands in this game. It's like one thing which is what I've been kind of wishing for a Contra remake to do at some point. It's just eventually just get round to just finally give us an adaptation of the Orange Islands. I mean, I know from what I've heard of there at least, they were mostly just like super fillery and not that great, but I'm mostly nostalgic for the Orange Islands because of Pokemon 2000. It's like, wow, we actually get this cool thing in the Orange Islands with Luigi. Lostel got lost again and is now a lost soul. Oh no. Who could have possibly seen this coming? Like the Orange Islands with... Yeah, just, I remember the gyms in that and being... Had the GS ball? Yeah, it had the GS ball. And would just still find it so funny, just the sheer ineptitude that went into the GS ball arc. Like, oh, it's gonna be this big whole plot thing with Celebi, except we decided, you know, we're just gonna have Celebi appear in the 4th movie instead, so it's like, well, what do we do with the GS ball? I'll just give it to Kurt. Just give it to Kurt, he'll just do something with it, I guess. What exactly? We never know. We never find out. Kurt is where Pokeballs go to die, apparently. Okay, time to go back to One Island, and... Wow, it really does feel as though we're really coming to the end now. Let's head back to One Island, so... I have been curious as to, I'm also wondering how much longer I want to, this to go on for. Like, I could just stop as soon as we beat the Elite Four. I could do all the, the stuff with the Ruby and the Sapphire to get Mewtwo. I could do all the legendaries, potentially. Depends what you want to see. Oh, hey, Stint. What kept you so long? Been out having a good time? You got it done. The PCs are up and running. The job went incredibly quick. Hell is one amazing guy. No, there was almost nothing left for me to do. Celia, I've got to hand it to you. You've learned a lot. Oh, really? Well, there you have it. I'm finished with the job. We should head back to Kanto. Celia, I'll be seeing you again. I'm really sorry we sent you off alone today. I promise I'll show you around these islands sometime. I mean, assuming that we come back to the Sevi Islands in this series. Hey, wasn't that a long cruise? My buddy Celia seems to enjoy your company. I'm sure he'd welcome you if we want to visit him again. If you have a tri-pass, you can always take a ferry there from the Villian port. Alright, thanks for your company, as he just straight up pulls a Sans. He knew a shortcut. Okay, so, that's it. We got 7 badges, meaning that all that's really left on our adventure is, the green badge. And then finally the Pokemon League. You know, there's something I should probably do, before we wrap up. I want to go back to Stellar again for, a brief moment. This'll make sense. This is something that I really did quite like about, the trainer card here in this game, which you never tend to see anymore. So, I want to get these in order I got them. So, it's Eastsphere at the bottom. Yeah, that looks about right. It's a Pokemon printer. You can print out the Pokemon Vacuum Trading Card. It costs only 50. Please choose a print type. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? Are we thinking normal? Are we thinking black? Are we thinking pink? Or are we thinking sepia? Let's try pink. Big smile for the photo. Pokemon printer's ready. Check the trainer card. Sepia? Yeah, we can do sepia. Yep, that's pink. C3PO. Alright, I guess we're all doing sepia tone. I was also gonna say pink. Let's have a look at this in sepia. Yeah, that seems about right. That seems about right. It also seems to fit with the badge colors, which for some reason the badges aren't colored here, which is kind of annoying. Anyways. With that being said, I think that we found a good stopping point for now. So tune in next week when we get on the road to Viridian City, even though we're already there. Yeah, this is gonna be home stretch. Viridian City, Victory Road, Elite Four. Home stretch, fellas. Look at that, 85 Pokemon. Anyways, I'll let you go for now. Thank you for tuning in and bearing with me and my antics on the road to. Oh wait, we're here. Yeah, exactly. We're here. And we'll partake in more of Viridian City's hospitality next time. So, thank you once again for tuning in. Bye for now.